Seoul and Tokyo have once again failed to reach an agreement on the unresolved issue of Japan's sexual enslavement of women across Asia before and during World War II. A disappointing outcome, as it was likely the last such meeting this year, and time is running out for the surviving victims who are now in their 80s and 90s. We are joined by Arirang's foreign affairs correspondent Kwon Soa. Now, Soa, we had high hopes going into today's working level talks between Seoul and Tokyo.
Conn, it was already the 11th round of talks meant to get South Korea and Japan on the same page toward resolving the issue of Japan's sexual enslavement of Korean women during World War II. But at Tuesday's meeting in Tokyo, the two sides failed once again to find common ground. Seoul's Foreign Ministry's Northeast Asian Bureau Chief Lee Sang-deok, Korea's representative to the talks, told reporters after the meeting with his Japanese counterpart Kimihiro Ishikane that at this stage it was difficult to say that the talks were productive, but also hard to say they were not.
Seoul wants to see an early conclusion of the negotiations, but whether another round can be held this year has to be analyzed once the delegation returns to Korea.
While Seoul has been pushing for a formal apology and compensation from Japan for the sexual enslavement of Korean women, Japan wants to approach the issue on a purely humanitarian level. Tokyo claims that the issue was settled under a 1965 bilateral treaty that normalized relations between the two countries. Despite the fact there's been no major progress on the matter since the first talks were held in April last year, expectations for Tuesday's meeting were higher than usual. That's because the meeting came just 2 weeks before the end of the year and after President Park Geun-hye had called for greater momentum toward a resolution by the end of this year during her first summit with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in November. Now, even if Japan does apologize, only 46 of the 238 Korean victims registered as so-called comfort women are still alive today to hear that apology after one of them died earlier this month. Conn.
Right, which is why it's all the more tragic that prospects for the resolution of this matter by the year's end have further dimmed after today's talks. Thank you, Soa. That was our Kwon Soa from the Foreign Affairs Ministry.